Hello everyone. My name is Elisa. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing so good today. We are here to do my TBR for the month of November. I can't believe it. The year is quickly running away from us and there are still so many books that I want to get done by the end of this year. But that's for a whole other video, so we will save that. But November is also my birthday month, so I'm really trying to pick good books for my birthday month. Fingers crossed it's going to be an amazing month of reading and I'll just love absolutely everything that I'm picking. One can hope and dream, and I hope that for you as well. So let's go ahead and get into the books that I am picking. Like usual, we're going to be talking about my highest priority books first. These are like my must reads for the month, and then we'll be talking about the books that are kind of maybes. I'm keeping this TBR a little bit smaller. One, because it's my birthday month, I will be pretty busy. I'll also be traveling, and also because I'm keeping it a little bit more open for mood reading than maybe I typically would. I talked about this in another video, but I was going to be doing my open letter publisher taste test video in November, but that has now been pushed back because the new release for that video, the book, has been pushed back as well. So it'll need to wait a little bit, and it's opening up the month for me because that was going to be 4 books for that video alone. So we have options, baby. I'm also taking into account that November is nonfiction November, so there's a good amount of nonfiction here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the books. So first up, we will be reading Pachinko by Min Jin Lee, and this book needs no introduction. It is well loved and a backlist title that I'm very much looking forward to finally getting to. She is thick, and that's part of why I'm reading her now. I am trying to read 5 books that are 500 plus pages. That is a tongue twister to say, and this is definitely one of them. So another picante beef baby on the list. I'm also doing this as a buddy read with my friend Kat to continually motivate me to make sure I get it done. But honestly, I don't think I'll need extra motivation. I'm really anticipating loving this book and think it will be just phenomenal. So really excited to finally be getting to this. And this one is one of those like generational family sagas. And I think it starts in the early 1900s and it follows a character who falls in love with a man. He makes promises to her, she becomes pregnant, and then she finds out that he is already married. And she decides that she's not going to be bought or bought off. She is just going to continue to live her life, and she ends up marrying a sickly minister. And that decision, I think, has effects for generations to come. So very intrigued to get to this and really excited to sink my teeth into a family drama. I haven't read one in a while. So that is Pachinko, which of course needs no introduction. Next up, we have the pick from my last book haul revisit for October, and that is Oldladyvoice. This is by Elisa Victoria and translated by Charlotte Whittle, and it's published by And Other Stories. This one has been on several TBRs, and I haven't gotten to it. It's because I'm reading it for my And Other Stories taste test video. You know, that is going complicatedly. That's not even a word, I don't think. But yeah, there, as a little teaser, there is a book in that video that I'm really struggling to talk about in a way that I feel good about. And so I've been procrastinating that video, and I just need to finish it. I just need to do it. So this one is the only one that I still haven't started for that video. So really hoping this will be a winner for me. And this one follows a young girl named Marina who spends the summer with her grandmother because her mother is ill and in the hospital, but she's living in this in-between of not knowing if she's going to be sent off to a convent or be like newly orphaned, or what's going to happen to her. So we're following her. I think it also says that she's like she's also going through a sexual awakening, and that's a part of the story as well. I'm not really sure how that's going to come into it, but she is supposed to be hilarious and kind, and I'm excited to see what it all is about. And I love this cover. So that is Oldladyvoice. Now the rest I'm basically gonna say are maybes. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna pull at whim, but let's go over the nonfiction first because again, nonfiction November, I wanna make sure I'm getting to these. So first up, we have Body Work by Melissa Febos. This is published by Catapult, and the little byline here is the radical power of personal narrative. I've heard great things about this. I think that I'm going to be a Melissa Febos stan, even though I haven't read anything by her yet. I have started Girlhood as well, which is an essay collection from her, but there are so many things she's published that I want to read, and I think this will be a great first one for me to complete. It's also very slim, so that helps as well. And this is really talking about how intimate of a process it is to write about yourself for public consumption, which I do think is such a fascinating topic to look at, like memoir form in. And this has memoir aspects to it of her own life. So I find that like meta element very interesting. I think she just sounds like such a smart, clever person. And I really do think that this could be a 5-star for me. So that is Body Work. I don't know why I'm doing this because I'm excited maybe. And yeah, we'll definitely, I think this one is a pretty safe bet that I'll be reading for this month. So that is Body Work by Melissa Febos. Next up, we have an actual 5-star prediction, an official one that I've done in a video, and that is Wanting. This is essays on women writing about desire. It's edited by Margot Kahn and Kelly McMasters. This has work from a lot of people. It says just on the cover, Kristen Arnett, Tori Peters, Larissa Pham, Lisa Taddeo, and more and more and more. So this is exactly what it sounds like. Essays on desire. I love reading about desire if you are new here. So if there is desire in a blurb, I'm like, okay, sold, done. It's for me. We're doing it. So I'm very excited for this. I think the range of the essays is going to be really varied, and I'm very excited for that. We'll see if this 5-star prediction lives up to the hype for me. And this one is published by Catapult. And then next up in the nonfiction, we have Ride or Die. This is by Shanita Hubbard, and it's published by Legacy Lit. This was gifted to me by some friends, so I'm very appreciative for that. And I really want to get it. I really want to get to it in the year that they gifted it to me, so want to pick it up soon. It's very short, which I wasn't expecting. And the byline for this one says, "A feminist manifesto for the well-being of Black women." So I'm very intrigued. I think it will be great. I haven't heard too many other people talking about this one, so I'm excited to see what it's all about. And yeah, I will report back once I've read it. So it is Ride or Die. Then we have Abyss by Pilar Quintana. This is translated by Lisa Dillman, and it's published by One World. This one is currently shortlisted for the National Book Award in Translated Literature. The winner gets announced on November 3rd. So I'm gonna try and read it in the first couple of days of November to get to it before that is announced. That's the plan at least. And this one, interestingly, that I'm reading it in the same month as Oldladyvoice, is also about a young female narrator. She is 8, the one in Oldladyvoice is 9, so very close. And she is trying to understand the world through the eyes of the adults around her. But the adults around her are pretty flawed. So it's a skewed way of looking at the world. And then things start falling apart when it says an interloper arrives, and it starts disturbing the very delicate balance of this family's life. So we'll see what all has in store, but yeah, really anticipating getting to this before the announcement of the winner. We'll see if it wins, but that is Abyss. And this one I actually got for free from Queen Anne Book Company, I think for Independent Bookstore Day. This is an ARC copy, and when I bought a couple of books there that day, they gave this one to me for free. So thank you to them for that. All right, and then the other two are going to be library books that I'm going to try and pick up via audio for the month. and they're both new releases that I'm highly anticipating and want to make sure I get to as soon as possible. The first one is I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel. This is published by Grey Wolf in the US, and it was very buzzy during the Women's Prize this year because it was longlisted. Lots of people really loved it. I feel like it's one of the books that most resonated across the board with people, and I really want to get to it. I think online culture is so fascinating, like most of us do, right? We're in this like new age and trying to understand things better. So really looking forward to getting to this. It's very short, so I think it'll be a pretty quick read or a quick listen. And yeah, excited to get to this and see what all the hype is about. The other one that I'm planning to get to via audio from my library is the new Melissa Broder book, which is called Death Valley. It has been my year of Melissa Broder. It's been my year of Melissa Broder and Annie Ernaeux, which is about to come up in a second. I have read her two other most recent novels this year. I've read The Pisces and Milk Fed. Really enjoyed both of them. So I'm looking forward to this. She has a very distinctive voice as a writer, and I really like it. So I think this should be a pretty safe bet, but it is following a woman who is dealing with the loss of her father and grieving that. Plus her husband is also ill, and I think she's kind of worried about losing him as well. So she takes off to California, is in the desert, staying at this hotel, and asks the kind of concierge where she can go for a walk to kind of like gather her thoughts. So she gets sent on this hike, and when she is out on the trail, she comes across this cactus that doesn't belong there. She happens to know it doesn't belong there. I wouldn't be able to tell, but she can. And as she gets closer to it, she realizes that it's a doorway to somewhere else, and she walks in, and that's the setup of the book. That sounds fascinating. She does have a really unique way of integrating the surreal with the real, and I'm very excited to see this new take for her. It's also, I think, shorter than most of her other books. So we'll see if I feel the length or anything like that. But yeah, looking forward to Death Valley. And lastly, I guess this could have been the nonfiction section because it is nonfiction, but I'll be trying to read another Annie Ernaeux. Again, it's been a year of Annie Ernaeux for me. This year I've read Happening and Simple Passion and loved both of them. I want to get to her new release called Young Man, The Young Man. One of those. I can't remember if the article is there or not, but this one I think is only like 40 minutes long on audiobook. Normally her stuff is short anyway, but 39 minutes is like nothing at all. So we'll see if that feels too short or not. But yeah, this one I think is also talking about an affair that she had, which is the same as Simple Passion. So who knows? I'm excited to read it though, and I'll let you know how it is. So those are the books that I'm planning on reading for this month. Please let me know if you've read any of these or if you're excited to read any of these. I always want to hear what you have to say, and let me know what you're going to be reading in the month of November, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.